Hey, I'm Cole Evelev. We're in Hell's Kitchen, New York City, and this is my record collection. Today we're gonna make a mixtape, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, radio style. I've been doing a radio show on the Lot Radio for about 5 years now, and I think I'll approach it in a similar way, thinking about a story and an arc. My collection's not really organized any particular way. Usually what I do is I'll pull a record, and if I like it, I'll leave it on the floor. And I cycle through floor records that way. It keeps me listening to everything kind of equally and not looking for, house records or techno records or African records. I like to keep it really mixed up. So, especially right now, I've just taken all the floor records off the floor and put them back in the shelves. It's gonna be a bit of a mix-up, but let's see what we find. So I'm looking for something for the intro, maybe something like softer, ambient, Love Inc., Life's a Gas, or Inuyama Land style. I like to kind of start at a pretty low point when I make a mix and then bring it up. Maybe at the end, take it back down a bit. Let's see, so I'm thinking about a couple things. I'm thinking about records like this, like Womack and Womack, Missing Persons Bureau. It has like the Paradise Ballroom mix on it. It's kind of like a loft classic, but also just like a record that has a lot of importance to me. Really beautiful song. So I'm thinking about how do I take records that I really like and maybe revere and format them in a way that makes sense with some other stuff. So Love Inc., Life's a Gas, just one of the most beautiful songs I know of. Gotta play it, basically. Well, it's by Wolfgang Voigt, who, made kind of techno music, but it's really just a beautiful 15-minute kind of ethereal track, maybe more on the ambient side, or something like Naomi Daniel's Stars, which is just kind of a amazing Detroit house track. And Frog of Earth, this record was just probably my favorite record of 2020. I've listened to it hundreds of times. It's just kind of outsider electronics, but highly listenable. It's not punishing. It's just astonishingly good. This is just bizarre. I found it at a A1 in the dollar bin. It's Money is Power. It's looks like it's self-pressed, and it's 3 songs, and the lyrics are the same in all of them with a slightly different beat, and he just screams, "Money is power." And he also listed all of the major labels on it as if one of them would notice him. Yeah, so normally when I make a mix, what I'll do is I'll just start looking at the records, I'll organize them kind of by energy or vibe, and yeah, so let's get going. This is Dominique Dumont, People on a Sunday. I think it's a film score from a 1930s silent film. There's a few records I listen to pretty much constantly through the pandemic. And this is one of them. It's amazingly beautiful and something that I don't seem to get tired of. So it's got to include this one for sure. This is Private Lesson. It's Damon Eliza Palermo and Nick Malkin. It's pretty housey in a lo-fi house sense, but it's also got these Japanese lyrics that come over it that are just really great. It's something I play at both 33 and 45. It seems to work in both forms, and I really enjoy listening to it. For a while I was playing a pretty bootlegged rip of it off a CDJ when I DJ'd. Felt pretty bad about that, so glad I got the record now. We touched on this briefly. It's Missing Persons Bureau. It's like Womack and Womack, but there's the Paradise Ballroom mix by Frankie Knuckles on it. It's just fantastic. I think the reason it matters to me is that when I was driving back from like a music festival upstate with some friends in the car, a friend put it on, and I had never heard it before. It was pretty impactful. I remember we called it a dance floor tomahawk at the time. And it was so impactful that I actually like had a copy of it pressed onto a dub plate for my friend. And the weekend after I gave it to her, I went to a record fair in a hotel on 50th Street, which is just some random record fair where I've never found anything. And I found this for like $5. And it was at the time a pretty expensive record. Yeah, I mean, like, Life's a Gas, the best. It's Wolfgang Voigt. It's just fantastic. I'll play it for you. You'll hear this one for sure. It's a great song. Frog of Earth, probably my most listened to record in 2020. It was a small label. I think this is their first record. Really hauntingly ethereal, kind of like new down-tempo house. There's frog sounds, synths, some drums. It comes in and out. It's just great. I listen to it a lot. Everyone I play this to is like just blown away by it. It's great. Another Two Bridges record. This is a kind of like a free jazz record, yeah, but it has like these like bird noises all over it, and it's just pretty great. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I did a live stream from here on Nowadays' website, and this is the first record I played there. So it's not like it's not unheard if you've listened to me before, but something I always come back to. I think a lot about what music means to me right now is like supporting friends and having friends that do things that are worth being invested in. This is a label a couple of friends of mine run. They don't put out very many records. And when they do, they always do something special with it. So this is GIGI. He lives in Austin. He's having a pretty good year. He's been putting out a lot of music. And yeah, every record they make comes with a special item. Sometimes it's incense or tea bag or even cologne. guess this is one of 50, but yeah, really happy to have this, and many love to my friends who make music like this. This is something I bought in Japan. As you probably know, the way Japanese records are graded is that if they're anything but perfect, they're priced very reasonably. This is an acid folk record. It's got these construction noises for 5 minutes, and then some LSD inspired folk music comes in and kind of carries over the construction noises, and then the construction noises come back. And I think in terms of records for a mix, this record to me just has such a vibe and a feeling that it's something I consider for every mix, even though I've used it before. It's just such a great way to set yourself up to tell a story. Cool. This is Sweet Trip, Hala. It's on Darla's Bliss Out series. This is volume 11. Darla is a really interesting label. They've done they do rock records, kind of synth records like this, ambient records. They've been around forever. This is probably the most listened to record for me over the past 2 years. Sweet Trip's just an amazing band, and it's really kind of pushed me to look for music that's similar, synthy, rocky, and blissed out. I think what attracts me to this is the mix of electronics and vocals. It's these 7-minute songs where it could almost be a dance or a techno record, but there's this kind of angelic singing and somewhere over here, and it just something I could just lie on the couch to for hours a day, and I have for sure. This is Spike, Go Dutch. You might know Spike. He's pretty popular at this point. He's a Dutch guy that made a number of rock records in his basement, I think in the 80s? Yeah, 82. It's one of my favorites. It's got, some nice purples on it. Lovely picture of Spike. There's one track in particular on here where he's playing the guitar and he's playing it over it, and it's just so fucking, I don't know, I just love it. It just makes me really happy. So, Can You See Me? That's the one. Again, another house record. I'm not sure if we'll get to it, but it's called Don't Do Drugs. And it's kind of like a hip house record, and they're just screaming, don't do drugs the whole time. And it's kind of funny to me to have a record for the club where drinking and drug use is kind of prominent and partying is part of the scene and the culture that's so anti doing drugs. And yeah, I've played it out a few times, but it's so weird. I don't know. It doesn't always hit. But I wish every time I played it, it was a smash. This is a UKG record. It's a Mike Milrain. I think for me, UKG, UK Garage, is just such a building block for why I like dance music. I mean, I was on this forum when I was in college called Funky Souls, which was like a Russian website that had basically zippy share files for like basically every UKG song ever. And it was such a community and a vibe. UKG is back, it's more popular than ever almost, and yeah, it's just so cool to see it become so integral to what dance music is now.